Have you seen some of the crime stories out of Memphis, Tennessee? Not only did we have that jogger that disappeared, and then they found her subsequently murdered because she was kidnapped, but we also had a dude randomly driving down the street, live streaming himself, shooting at people. This is stuff that's like Purge, Grand Theft Auto. You know, the Purge, the movie and the game, Grand Theft Auto. This is stuff that's just unbelievable. Murders, robbings, lootings, thefts, homeless encampments. Then, and that's the Northeast. Northwest. And now almost in every major city, you're seeing homeless encampment. People setting up tents in front of homes and alleys and shootings, stabbings. And this is just the beginning of it all. In the West, they're burning up. They have rolling blackouts taking place. Energy crisis. I mean, literally, 109, 110 degrees. Burning up, and they already ain't got no water. Rivers are drying up. And even if you weren't a person that believed in the Bible, I mean, clearly I believe, I lived the book. But if you are a person that did not believe in the Bible, you could clearly see that things are drastically changing. Things aren't the same as they used to be. You could clearly see that. You could clearly see there's a major shift. Now, for those of us that believe in the book and live the book plus nothing, we know that this could be, well, it is a sign, but it could be a sign of something much, 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 much bigger. And people say, well, it's the end times. Well, I don't know, but I know that it can take time to get to the end times. People think that the end times is like one event. Like we cross, we go from today to tomorrow. Now we're in the end times. All systems that fail and all times that change, they go through a transition period. 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine. But next year, 2023, is projected to be way worse than this year. And then, there's so many issues. Inflation. And the lack of awareness, the lack of people being awake to the things that are being seen, to the things that are being shown, to the things that are happening is alarming. The fact that a large majority of people in this faith still are placing their hope in chance. It's kind of like playing the game of Monopoly. You had Community Chest, which was usually a good card, and then you had Chance, which meant you don't really know. People are gambling with their futures. Instead of doing and making sure, wise decisions in understanding, they're gambling. They're playing the system's casino and hoping that they win. And most people who have played the system's casino lose. If you look at the majority of people, they lose playing this game. Sure, there are winners, but it's kind of like the lotto. How many people have to lose the lotto for that one person to win the lotto? When Yah clearly gave us wisdom, Yah clearly gave us instructions that we don't have to sit back and play the system's game in order to win. Obedience to Yah and his word will give us victory. Blessings if you obey, curses if you don't. I put before you life and death, blessings and curses. He then tells you to choose life. That's something we're going to talk about today in tonight's live stream, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, when we're talking about how a large, just in this faith, I've noticed a lot of sisters and brothers are choosing their own paths opposed to choosing the paths that are laid out to them by Yah. So women are choosing their careers over motherhood and being a wife, which is what the Bible says. That's what it's laid out. I don't see a single example in the Bible of where Yah commended a sister, commended a woman for choosing the path of career over his preordained ways. I've never seen a situation in the Bible where a man was blessed by not following the paths that Yah had already set. Be fruitful and multiply, work with your hands, work hard, 6 days you shall labor and do all that work. And what's happening is when people don't follow Yah's paths, whether they like it or not, they get swallowed up in one way or another by the system. By what you see, these crimes, food shortages everywhere, taking place everywhere. More and more countries are holding back their grain, holding back their rice, holding back their corn. They're saying, hey, we got to take care of ourselves first. And men, let that be a lesson to us. Before you can take care adequately of somebody else, before you can, especially men with families, before, I'm preparing and I'm going to have some food to help out my extended family. Well, do you have food and protection and covering for those in your own household? That's what you're charged with. Before you ever charge to help another person, you are charged to help those of your own household. You are charged to provide for those of your own household. Because it's not just Memphis. It's all over this country where crime is skyrocketing, where people are doing nasty, dirty shit to other people. And you got people out there, in some of these prepper groups, channels, whatever you want to call them, who are literally fantasizing over a time such as this. They'll tell you, these are the same people that tell you that they wouldn't live in the hood. These are the same people that tell you that they wouldn't live in Chicago. But yet they're looking forward to a Chicago-type environment all over this country. They're looking at four corners of death in San Diego, California type of society in this whole country. They're looking at what's happening in New York, in the subway systems, and they're looking for that to take place. They're looking for the crime. They're at one side of their mouth, they're talking about all the nastiness and sickness and the crimes that are taking place, and on the other side of their mouth, they're almost like looking forward to it. I don't look forward to these times, because if you've ever lived in anything close to those sort of times, you understand those sort of times are not beneficial. They destroy whole city blocks generationally. Areas I lived in, were on a slow decline, and now you look at them now and it's like it's a hellhole. See, Grand Theft Auto, The Purge, whatever type, these shows and movies, it's almost like they're foretelling what was coming, because you're seeing a destruction take place. You're seeing a falling of a system, and people in this society don't understand the falling system. This society has been spoiled and full of decadence and luxuries. The luxury of throwing food away that you don't want, the luxury of waste. And now with people that have never understood what it is to save and what it is to struggle, are being put in a position to struggle, they're not going to react kindly. They're not going to react kindly. And a lot of this stuff could simply be avoided if you just followed what the book said. The Bible says that the plagues of Egypt would not fall upon you. It's sad. Anyways, I have a package coming, so let me go pick it up. Bless you. Something to think about. Hopefully I'll see you tonight. 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Shalom.